up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 430 for the week of March 29th, 2026. The title of this week's episode is Never a Doubt, the DreamHack Birmingham Post-Show. If Swole Daddy ever listens to this, that Never a Doubt was just for him. That was like, I was figuring out, obviously DreamHack Birmingham Post-Show was going to be the title of the episode, but I'm like, man, what do I want to do for like an additional tagline? And it was never a doubt for me that Shopify were going to win the fucking thing, but I really just wanted to shove it to him a little bit further because he hates Patrick Mahomes and he hates Nick Wright. And if anybody knows anything about First Things First lore, then you'll understand that reference to Never a Doubt. But either way, if you don't know anything about that, you should go watch First Things First. In my opinion, it's one of the best sports shows on television. And it's funny, and it's insightful, and they have great folks on that show, and they all work well together, and it's a fun time. So, and if that's not your jam, then it's not your jam, and that's fine too. All right. That notwithstanding, my name is Josh, aka JK Fire. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. How the fuck we doing? That was an early tournament. Unless you're in the EU, in which case it was normal time for you. But, you know, over here in Minnesota land, it was early. It was quite early. Championship Sunday ended just after 1 p.m. Central. And I'm like, wow, what do I do? Like, what? I don't know what to expect right now. It was wonderful. Oh, my God. God damn. Zionian, welcome back. Good to see you. Tools, welcome back as well. Beth, John, Diode, Ghost, Sticka, Texas Guy. Hope everyone's having a great fucking night. Glad to not wake up at 3 a.m. again. I agree. Holy shit. It was wonderful. It was just wonderful. I woke up was able just to get everything ready to go for the day, hanging out with the kid and whatnot, and be like, oh yeah, the tournament's happening. It didn't feel rushed or anything like that. It was just great. It was wonderful. All right. On this week's episode of the show, we have information on Halo Fest tournaments that have been revealed and DreamHack Birmingham Post-Show. Because, duh, what the fuck else would we be talking about on this week's episode of the show? But without further ado, I didn't think there was going to be any quote-unquote competitive news today, but then Tashi's like, hey, here's a blog post for March because there's 1 day left in the month. So here you go for Halo Fest. And I'm like, hell yeah, thank you. Now I get to keep the segment in the show. And that's exactly how that metaphorical conversation in my head happened. And we're here now. And we're going to talk about it. It's time for some competitive news. Esports at Halo Fest. This is the March update. This is by Tashi. He states, this month we're diving into esports at Halo Fest. When we first announced the Halo Fest at Halo World Championship, we also shared that an HCS Invitational would be part of the celebration. Today we're sharing the initial details with more to come later in the summer. Okay, so more information will be in the summer. That's like soon-ish. Let's jump in. The HCS Invitational. The HCS Invitational is an invite-only, hence the fucking word invitational, tournament that is just one component of the esports and competitive experience at Halo Fest. The tournament will be played on, drum roll please, just kidding, it's fucking Halo Infinite. And anybody else who was thinking otherwise, you're fooling yourself. Leveraging, of course, the latest HCS maps and modes, because everybody loves vacancy. We're excited to confirm that the prize pool for the tournament will be $150,000. We also want to share a bit about the considerations we're making for the invitation process. It's not an exact science, and we won't be using a points criteria. Our goal is to create a competitive spectacle that delivers epic entertainment for Halo fans both on site and watching online. Here are some of the factors we'll be considering for invitations. HCS partnered teams that are still actively involved in the community and ecosystem. In other words, as of right now, that would only be Shopify Rebellion. Top pros or teams competing consistently and performing well. And positive contributors to the Halo community and franchise. Because we only want the folks that speak good about the franchise. What are we doing? What? Okay, sure. Please note that the invites won't be an even mixture of the above criteria. You can think of them as filters to help us make what will ultimately be a very hard decision. We're expecting invites to go out late summer, early fall. Tools, I agree completely. And I'll read your statement for the audio listeners in just a second. I just want to get through this last statement. In terms of format, the tournament will field 8 teams in a mix of pool play and double elimination bracket. It's important to keep in mind that the Halo Fest convention is a 2-day event. And while we haven't finalized schedule yet, we're expecting teams to be eliminated on the first day. Let me restate that. In terms of format, the tournament will field 8 teams in a mix of pool play and double elimination bracket. It's important to keep in mind that the Halo Fest convention is a 2-day event. And while we haven't finalized the schedule yet, we're expecting teams to be eliminated on the first day. Therefore, we may have an instance where we may have 6 teams in the double elimination bracket. We may have 4 teams in the double elimination bracket, depending on however the fuck they decide to do this. Okay. I'm going to be mean for a second. So Tools states, not really a fan of how they laid out the invites, LMAO. Feels like it goes against the ethos of what they said HCS was. Here's my thing. If you want this to be a show match, then just let it be a show match. Okay? Like, get another big team battle bonanza going or something like that if you want to have content creators up on stage. Okay? There's nothing against that. It can be a crowd pleaser. It's a good time. People are having fun. It's all for the fun of it, right? But if this is going to be an invitational with $150,000 on the line, I'm expecting the best of the best to be there. Plain and simple. I'm expecting the teams that are competing in this to be the best of the best that we have available at that time. Okay? And again, this is no disrespect to anybody that speaks well of the franchise. Okay? This isn't to negatively speak on any positive contributors to the Halo community and franchise. Okay? I want to make sure that's understood. But I'm taking that as, depending upon the teams that they have available that they can invite, they may need to go picking things out specifically. And I'm not about that. I want there to be the best competition available at the time to be present at that invitational. If you're labeling it as an HCS invitational, then I expect it to be at the highest competitive integrity. And if that's not going to be the case, then rebrand it. Do something else. or have something on top of it. Like I said, like a big team battle bonanza, like a show match of some kind, just something else. And I'm not like, I should clarify here. I don't know if that means that they would be thinking about content creators or just like, no offense, but just people in the crowd, like, oh, come fill the spot on this team, blah, blah. Like, I'm not saying they're going to do something like that. It's just when you have one of the factors that is being considered for invitations, you have it clearly stated in this post, positive contributors to the Halo community and franchise, and that's not outright a player, or like that's not outright speaking about professional players, I have an issue with that. And maybe this paints me as the bad guy. That's fine if that's the case. I just can't. If you're having an HCS Invitational with $150,000 on the line, it should only be pro players that are competing in this. Otherwise, they're going to get fucking steamrolled. And then what was the fucking point of that? That doesn't even provide good entertainment. It's just annoying that we wasted time on that match. I'm going to be blunt. So I just, what a weird thing. And then, like, backing up a minute, right? HCS partnered teams that are still actively involved in the community and ecosystem. That's literally Shopify. That's it. FaZe should have a team for Atlanta. Okay? FaZe should have a team for Atlanta. SSG said that they want to have a team for Atlanta. Okay, they said they would not have a team for Birmingham, but they want to have a team for Atlanta. Who knows if plans change there? Guys, we're talking about Halo esports in an off-season year. Things can change on a fucking dime. Literally, the only team that is still active in the ecosystem that is partnered is Shopify. That's literally it. FaZe is nowhere to be found. Like, Kayson appears in streams and provides context and whatnot, which is great. Like, I do appreciate that. But they're not putting, like, they don't have a team signed yet. They're not putting out content. They're not putting in having tournaments take place or anything like that. SSG are nowhere to be found as well. It's literally just Shopify as of right now. So hopefully things change quickly here, because the open series for Atlanta is starting literally this weekend. God. How doesn't Optic field a team even if the Clowns have leave to go to Call of Duty? What do you mean, Bad Azrock? What do you mean? There's no money in Halo. That's why Optic isn't in it right now. There's no money in it. I don't necessarily blame them either, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? And then the open competition, because there is more to this blog post. In addition to the HCS Invitational, we'll also have plenty of open competitions for attendees to participate in themselves. Our goal here is to offer something for everyone. Various team sizes, including solos, as well as various Halo games in celebration of 25 years of Halo. Some of the final matches of the open competitions may also take place on the esports stage. More details are to come, and today we're excited to confirm that $50,000 in prizing will be awarded across the open competitions at Halo Fest. Okay? Those all sound pretty good. That all sounds pretty good. But yeah, this is going to sound stupid too, because on the one hand, I am glad that we got a blog post. I'm glad that Tashi's continuing with this series of blog posts on Waypoint, like each month, to provide updates on Halo Fest. I do appreciate that, because I've always been a proponent of the more information we get, the better. And frankly, I wish that we got updates more often, like during Infinite's tenure. But this is one of those things where it's like, I wish there was more context to it, because you put out those 3 bullet points. And like, if I'm in a meeting talking about like going through the talking points of this article before it's published. And I look at those 3 bullet points as to some of the factors, not all, but some of the factors that they're considering for invitations. And like, what is that? What are we talking about? What does positive contributors to the Halo community and franchise mean? Like, what the fuck is that? What do you mean? Oh my God. Oh my God. Just fucking insane. So hopefully he said that we'll get more clarification. We'll get more information in the summer. So I guess we're just going to have to wait till the fucking summer. But now I'm upset. Like, now I'm just fucking like peeved about this. God damn it. The more I read it, the more I'm like, oh wow. This is something. This really is something. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the competitive news. Which means it's time for Rostermania! Got a roster here for you for DreamHack Atlanta coming up. It's going to be Staria, which includes Mailmain, Aziraphale, Decals, and Vellum. So congratulations to them for getting signed to this organization called Staria. Hopefully they're not shit. Not the players, the org. You know? What are you going to do? That's it for Rostermania. Upcoming tournaments of the week presented by NoobCombo.com. Check out NoobCombo.com for all your Halo esports needs. And for the OGs out there, you'll know exactly why I said what I said about... I literally know nothing about Staria. For all I know, they're great. I just know that we've had a lot of bad ones over the years, and I hope that they're not one of them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to ensue that they are. I just don't want them to be. You know what I mean? There you go. Saturday, April 4th. We have a few here. A Halo 4 2v2 tournament. Fuck yeah. Let's fucking go. Also a Spartan Showdown. And the Road to DreamHack Atlanta Open #1, day #1, because there's a clarification here. Yo, Zionian, thank you so much for the fucking submarino. You get a woo! Thank you so much for the sub. Greatly appreciated. Goddamn. It's important to note that Saturday, April 4th, because I fucked this up last week. Saturday, April 4th is the Open #1, day #1, because day 2 is scheduled to take place on April 9th due to the Easter holiday. Okay? So day 1, because it's typically a weekend, it takes place over the course of a weekend. Day 1 is on Saturday, April 4th. And then the second day is on April 9th, which I believe is a Tuesday or a Wednesday that next week. So you and Lumber should do the Halo 4 2v2. That man can't stand up to me. Fuck no. Why the fuck would I team with his ass? Absolutely not. That man thinks he can be my teammate? That man didn't know you couldn't drop the fucking flag. And you want him to be my teammate? Lumber, where you at? Get the fuck in the chat. God. That's it for the upcoming tournaments of the week presented by NoobCombo.com. Check out NoobCombo.com for all your Halo esports needs. Scrim Tournament League recaps. If you want to check out scrims before DreamHack, you can go ahead and do so over at HaloDataHive.com. Check out HaloDataHive.com for all your Halo statistical needs. Time for the topic. DreamHack Birmingham Post-Show. We're going to go through some side events here first. Fulcrum, it's great to see you. Welcome back. Welcome the fuck back. I hope Mythic 8s were a grand old time, because I believe those took place on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe they did. And if they did, I hope they're fucking great. Side events for DreamHack Birmingham. There were a few. There was a Halo 5 2v2. In second place went to Boo Boo Doo Boo and Envor. And in first place went to Soul Snipe and Druck. Boo Boo Dubu and Envor took home $150. Soul Snipe and Druck took home $350. There was a Halo 3 2v2. Second place went to Slink and Light Axle, taking home $250. And in first place went to Snipe Drone and Haulers, taking home $500. There was a Halo Infinite 2v2. In second place went to Baxter and Kami, taking home $375. And in first place went to Bound and Syrian, taking home $875. So yes, Syrian was able to attend the event. Went to a Hornets game Saturday, but they did still take place. Looks like we had a few matches. Great to hear. And I hope the Hornets game was fun, man. I hope the Hornets game was fun. And then, of course, we had a Halo Infinite FFA. Running from 8th place up to 1st. 8th was Archer Nexus with $100. 7th was Furious with $125. In 6th place was Rudy with $150. 5th was Shabby Dagger, $200. 4th was DeHill with $425. And 3rd was Harsh with $800. And 2nd was Command Station with $1,200. And in first place went to Kami, $2,000. Congratulations. And congratulations to all the winners of the side events that took place over at Birmingham. I have a couple, and by a couple I mean one. I have one real notable series here from the open bracket side of things. And that is going to be Fries in the Bag going up against Majin. Majin were my wild card going into this event. And actually, I got to give props to the production, to the production and the talent and everyone over at DreamHack from the European Halo League side of things, because they also brought wild cards back in their predictions. And I thought that was fucking great. Yeah, Majin was one of my wild cards going into this event because I was curious, like, if jet lag was going to affect any of the U.S. teams. How early were they going to get into Birmingham to try to shake that shit off? Majin being native to that region, maybe it would have benefited them more, and they are comprised of some of the best EU talent from that region. But Fries in the Bag said, no, sir, no, sir. And they actually fucking gave it to Majin. Fries in the Bag won that series 2-0. And it was the first big upset of the tournament. Now, granted, this was still open bracket. Majin did eventually make its way through. They did get to pool play. But I got to give props to Fries in the Bag here for sending Majin to the lower side of the open bracket in a 2-0 sweep. So congratulations to them. And then also, little notable fact for you. Because of the amount of teams competing and the amount of first round buys, Omit, Kraken Seas, Luminon, and Shopify each only needed to win 5 total maps to qualify for pool play. They needed to win 2 series in open bracket to qualify for pool play. They all did, obviously, but just a little piece of information for you. On the winner's side, all they had to do was win 2 series. In the last chance qualifier, the notable series here I want to call out is In Excelsis going 3-2 against Phantom Gaming. And with that In Excelsis win, infinite history is made once again for women in the scene, with Blood Reyna and Ashlyn Bot making it through the open bracket into pool play for the first time in Infinite's history. So congratulations to them. That's fucking awesome. Blood Reyna, Ashlyn Bot. Congratulations to you two. Congratulations to the In Excelsis team as well for making it into pool play. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Moving on to pool play. Couple notable series here for you. Pool B went exactly the way you would think it was going to go. Like, Pool B genuinely went exactly the way you thought it was going to go. But in Pool A was fucking stacked. Pool A had Shopify, Omit, Mags Up, and Majin all in the same pool. No offense to King's Order. And in Pool A, there were a couple series here I wanted to call out. First was Shopify going up against Omit. Shopify did take the series 3-2, but that won't be the first time, or I should say that won't be the last time that Omit takes Shopify to a Game 5 in this tournament. Something to keep in mind. Keep in the back of the mind. But Shopify did win that series. They won it 3-2. Stayed on top of their pool. Omit then also went up against Mags Up. That was also a 5-game series. This time, Omit clutching up when they needed to. They win that series 3-2. And so therefore, your pool standings were Shopify going 4-0, Omit going 3-1, Mags Up going 2-2, Majin going 1-3, and King's Order going 0-4 and being eliminated from the tournament. And then in Pool B, we had Luminon going 4-0, Kraken going 3-1, Legion going 2-2, Fries in the Bag, they also made it through, going 1-3, and then Excelsis going 0-4, who were unfortunately eliminated from the tournament as well. So we had 8 teams, double elim bracket. Here we go. In the championship bracket, here are the series that I wanted to quickly note on. In the winners quarterfinal, Mags Up went up against Kraken Seas. And Mags Up, I sold him short. What's up, Laird? Welcome back. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I sold them short this event. I thought that they'd be taking top 6. That is not what happened. Everybody, because of what happened with Luminon, we'll get to them. Don't worry. The rest of the teams got bumped up a notch, I guess you could say. But either way, in the winners quarterfinal, Mags Up sending Kraken Seas to losers bracket in a 3-1 series. And I just have Mags Up came to play this tournament. They were great. And another thing to keep in mind too is they were being coached by none other than Bound. Bound was, in fact, coaching this team for DreamHack. So that's a fun time. It was fun to see him behind the guys, have his shades on. He looked like he was loving life. In the winners semifinal, Omit went up against Luminon. Game 1 was King of the Hill on Livefire. With 7 seconds of time left on the game clock, Omit are able to capture the B or green side hill to tie the game 3-3. But in the overtime, it's Luminon clutching up to win the game 4-3. So again, just for folks who may not understand the King of the Hill changes that have taken place with Infinite, right? Where what happens is, in King of the Hill, as long as a player is standing within the hill, the game clock will stop. Okay, it's the same like with Oddball, where if a player on a team is holding the oddball, the game clock itself will stop. Okay? And so there was 7 seconds left of in-game time. Like on the game clock, there were 7 seconds left. And a player on an Omit as a team were able to fully capture the B green side hill from nothing to capturing it within that, like, they made it so time completely stopped for that entire duration of the hill capture. And then the game went into overtime. Luminon clutches it up. They win the game. But it was fucking awesome to watch. But from that moment forward, it was basically the Omit show for the remainder of the series. And they sent Luminon to losers in a 3-1 series. A little gentleman's sweep. And I thought to myself, okay. All right, Omit. I see you. And Luminon, what are we doing? Like, I didn't think you were going to beat Shopify. Don't get me wrong. But I thought you'd be taking second this event. And you still can. You're just going to drop down to losers. You still have a way to get there. But let's see what happens. Also, you guys... I feel like I'm going to say this, and he's going to pop up. But you guys notice how Dav's not here? All of a sudden? His boy's lost. And where is he? Where'd Dav go? I want to talk to him about Luminon. Oh, shit. Let's move to losers quarterfinal. Because here's where it happened. Kraken Seas In the losers quarterfinal, Kraken Seas went up against Luminon. Game 1 was CTF on Origin. And there was one key point here that sticks out. And I don't mean to give them a lot of shit, but this doesn't happen very often with pro teams. But Breaking Shot had a goose that game. Breaking Shot had a goose in game 1, which is CTF on Origin. Not a great start, especially when if you lose this series, you're out of the tournament. Okay? So that's a key point. But in game 2, which was Slayer on Recharge, Breaking Shot had the bounce back. But it wasn't enough for the onslaught by Luminon. So Breaking Shot was the best player on his team in game 2. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to the win. So, but it was at that point that you guys know the drill now. After the game 2, players take a brief little break, whether it be a bathroom, whether it be a little powwow. You know, you meet up, you chat it out with the team, figure it out, try to get the heads back in the game. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what Kraken did. They all get up. They all go stand off to the side. They're all chatting, figuring out what they need to do to get their heads back in it. And they did. They got their heads back in the game. In game 3, which is King of the Hill on Lattice, it was a dominant showcase by way of Kraken Seas after coming back from their break. Okay, now they have a little bit more of a momentum. It's a series now. Okay, we don't have to worry about a sweep here. We got a series. Game 4 was Strongholds on Live Fire. It was yet another great showing from Kraken Seas. Do we have a reverse sweep incoming? Game 5 was Slayer on Streets. And I ask of you, what more could you possibly ask for? What more, as a Halo esports fan, what more could you possibly ask for? It was a tense back and forth game from beginning to end. There were no giant lead changes or anything like that. It was very, very close the entirety of the game. A tie 49-49 game for nearly 2 minutes going into sudden death overtime. And the passionate pop-off when Kraken Seas secures the final kill and completes the reverse sweep. Not only was it a game 5, not only was it a 49-49 Slayer for basically 2 fucking minutes, but it was also a reverse sweep, and it also dictated whether or not a team was going to be eliminated from the fucking tournament. And people say they don't like Slayers. You're out of your fucking mind. Shit like that is one of the reasons why I think Halo esports is special. It is moments like that that truly, I think, prove how special Halo esports is. And like I said earlier before the show officially kind of started, it was poetic in a sense as well, because for those who don't remember, you have both halves. You have both halves of the Envy roster from last year competing against each other in this series. You have Piggy and Yaxon on Kraken Seas, and you have Descendant and Precision on the Luminon side. And that pop-off at the end of that series, at the end of that game 5, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Breaking Shot who actually got the final kill on Descendant. Because Breaking Shot, actually, I believe Yaxon had camo. Piggy was getting into a fight with somebody that was bottom C, and he was towards A Gen. And the other players on Luminon were towards the cafe side. and Descendant is in cafe, kind of a sitting duck, and they're able to clean up that kill, and you see the pop-off happen. It was poetic. And obviously it was funny because then you had the fist bumps after the end of it all anyway, but it's moments like that. It's moments like that that truly make this esports special, in my opinion. It's moments like that that I can point to somebody and be like, hey, have you ever seen something like this before? Check this out. I fucking, like, obviously I love the scene and everything, and I yeah, competitive Halo is incredible, but like, I also love Slayers. Like, I fucking love Slayers, and it's specifically for those fucking moments. And I understand the rebuttal of like, oh, but they're not fucking doing anything for 2 minutes. It's just so, like, they're just sitting there waiting to see if something happens. But then something, like, they have to make a move. Something will happen at some point. Some player will be out of position at some time. Some team is going to make a bad push, or they're going to believe they're making the right one, and it just doesn't work out. So many different things in play in those very tense moments. And we're talking about a very specific moment that decides a game, that decides a series, that decides whether a team goes home. And I love that fucking moment. Again, simply poetic. In the losers semifinals, Kraken Seas went up against Mags Up, and Kraken Seas continue their run, this time another Game 5. Eliminating Mags Up from the tournament 3-2, a series that had monumental swings during its games, culminating in yet another Game 5 banger. In the winners final, we had Shopify going up against Omit. Remember the foreshadowing that I gave you earlier, where this wasn't going to be the last time that Omit took Shopify to a Game 5, because it happened again. While this series did go to a Game 5, here's the key. Here's the key, and this is why not all Game 5s are the same. Not all Game 5 series are the same. Because while this series did go to a Game 5, each of the 3 games that Shopify won, they did so handily. Game 1, they won the Strongholds on Recharge 250 to 130. Game 4, which was Oddball on Livefire, they won that game 200 to 18. You need 100 seconds of ball time to win the round. So Shopify won both rounds, obviously. But in both those rounds combined, Omit had 18 seconds of ball time. And in Game 5, which was Slayer on Streets, Shopify won it 50 to 33. Just something to keep in mind. In the losers final, we had Omit going up against Kraken Seas, and Omit swept them. Omit remained composed throughout the entire series. They sweep Kraken Seas and they send them home with a 3rd place finish, which means we have yet another rematch of Shopify going up against Omit in the grand final this time around. And other than a very close Game 1, this series was all Shopify all the time. VODs are included for each series that I had just briefly talked about, as well as, like, VODs are included for the entire tournament for each stream, so make sure to go check that out in the show notes, ! Show notes in the chat. So to go through it once again, here are your placings for DreamHack Birmingham. In 7th and 8th, we had Fries in the Bag and Legion Gaming, each taking home $2,500 apiece. In 5th and 6th place, we had Luminon Gaming and Majin taking home $4,000 apiece. In 4th place, we had Mags Up taking home $8,000. In 3rd was Kraken Seas of $10,000. 2nd was Omit with $17,000. And 1st place, surprising literally no one, was Shopify Rebellion taking home $35,000. My predictions, I think anybody be crazy to not think that Shopify were going to win that thing. So, yes, I had Shopify winning it. But, like I said, I had Luminon in 2nd. that did not happen. They took fifth, sixth. So everybody else got bumped up one. Why had everyone else bumped down? So I had Omit in third, Kraken in fourth, Mags up in fifth, sixth, when really it was Omit second, Kraken C's third, Mags up fourth. But also had Majin taking fifth, sixth. So I'll take that one as well. A few storylines here for you. In Excelsis making pool play, making women's history in Infinite, like mentioned previously. Congratulations to them once again. Mags up coming to play this tournament. I thought they played great overall. Anytime being able to see Druck compete on LAN is always a good time, I guess you could say. So it was great to see him compete on LAN once again. And also, I got to give a huge shout out to Mags Up again, because people need to keep in mind that team did not earn travel coverage to compete at the event. They were not one of the top 4 teams from the qualifier to earn travel coverage to Birmingham. Mags Up was still able to send them, and I think that's awesome. So big ups to Mags Up there, and obviously they wish they got placed higher than they were, but I think that placing's great regardless. So congratulations to them. Big shout out to Mags Up for sending them to the event, because I just wanted more competition there anyway, and I think that's awesome. Kraken C's eliminated Luminon from the tournament with a top 6 placing in a nail-biter 50-49 Game 5. Like I had previously mentioned, it was amazing. And like I said, I thought Luminon were going to take second. And they just... I mean... kind of shit the bed. So, yeah. I really don't know what else to say about that. I mean, you had inarguably the easier pool, so maybe you just weren't tested until you came into bracket play. But I mean, no excuses. You got to beat who's in front of you. I was surprised. I was very surprised. Omit showed up and showed out during the entire tournament, sending Luminon to the losers bracket in a 3-1 fashion and taking Shopify to a Game 5 twice, once in pool play and champ bracket, before being gentlemen swept in the grand finals. Yeah, I got to give huge props to Omit as well. They did not perform very well in the grand final, and I'd mentioned previously in the Game 5 that they had Shopify in the championship bracket, that the games that Shopify won were just demonstrably better. But at the same time, they played way better than I thought they would. And that's not saying a whole lot, but I got to give them props. Their teamwork. I remember being able to tune in for one of the Shopify Omit series over the weekend. What's up, Deadlie? Oh, you're going to get a shout out too, Deadlie, later on, because shout out to John for sending me the info on your fucking tournament win. So don't worry, you'll be getting a shout out too, sir. But yeah, I gotta hand it to Omit. I was watching one of the Shopify series where they had taken them to a Game 5, and just the teamwork that I was seeing on display from Omit was just awesome. One of the things I was worried about, this is going to sound stupid. One of the things I was worried about is because of not a ton of money being available, not a lot of sponsorship dollars being available, not a lot of organizational support being available, that, again, this is going to sound really stupid because, again, these are competitors we're talking about, but I was worried about a potential lack of effort being put forward. As dumb as that sounds, I know it sounds stupid. We are talking about competitors at the end of the day. These are professionals. They are trying to put time in. They're putting their work in. That's me just being dumb. But I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried about that going into this offseason. And I'm so happy to kind of be internally proven wrong about it. Or that concern being washed away. Because seeing these players play together on teams that may kind of be unconventional during a traditional HCS season, but having these players compete with who they want to compete with, and you get to see the chemistry and you get to see these players just working together in great ways. It was awesome. And so I got to give a huge shout out to Omit on that front as well. Also, from the Kraken Seas side of things, I got to give an even bigger shout out and just, I got to tip my hat to Breaking Shot. I really do. I got to tip my hat to him because yes, he had the goose game, but that notwithstanding, their teamwork that they showed on that Kraken Seas roster, having Acid in there as well from LATAM, it was fucking awesome. It was just awesome. And I remember like fucking all the shit with complexity over the couple years or whatever. And like people saying, oh, they need to drop so-and-so, they need to drop so-and-so, they need to drop so-and-so, and Breaking Shot being in the midst of all these things. And to see him have an amazing tournament on that Kraken Seas roster, I got to tip my hat to him. So huge shout out to you, Breaking Shot. It's just, goddamn, it was awesome. And then, of course, Shopify Rebellion continue to prove, without a doubt, they are still the best team in the game, even on Xbox. Some event thoughts here. Starting with the bad. Sorry for the dramatic pause there. I need to take a drink. Starting with the bad. I mean, okay. With the caveat of understanding that this was European Halo League's kind of first major production like this, I got to give some grace. I got to give some leniency. Okay? With that being said, the production issues, the observer issues, they were abundant, and they were all weekend in some way, shape, or form. Where on day one, it took forever to get the B stream going, which means we didn't get to see as many matches as we would hope to see. The sound issues that were present throughout, just, yeah. I got to give some grace here, understanding the context surrounding everything, but that's where I'm at right now. So those were easily the worst parts about the weekend, I would say. There was a lot of downtime between matches, like a lot of downtime between matches. And I do appreciate the interviews that they had going. Like, they got some teams on to do like post-series interviews, which is great. That's always wonderful to hear from players and coaches. They also had some like some content creators or some like traditional attendees. They had them on for interviews too. I thought that was really fucking cool. Good to see there, but it could have been structured a lot better. And there was a lot of downtime between matches. There was still a lot of technical difficulties that were taking place. And again, you can't just predict that they're going to happen. So again, I give grace there. Same as I would with an HCS broadcast. It's just, when we were watching the Halo, it was a good time. But there was a lot of time that we were not watching any Halo. And for a Halo broadcast, it was unfortunate. And frankly, it was bad. And then the other thing too, this was on Championship Sunday, where every player, this was the fucking weirdest thing. OG War, thank you so much for the raid. Greatly appreciated. Hope you had a great fucking stream. Welcome, Raiders. The thing that kills me, on Sunday, everybody that was shooting a gun, it's like they had the brightest fucking muzzle flashes, and it was every single player. Like, it was like they had a sniper glint, but it was every time they would shoot their gun. It was just, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what are we doing? Is this like the next iteration of a fucking texture glitch? This is crazy. And yeah, that was on Championship Sunday, so that was fucking unfortunate too. Was not the biggest fan of that taking place, but what the fuck are you gonna do at the end of the day, you know? I made the joke that it's literally like they had cream cannons going off every single time somebody was shooting a gun. So, take that for what you will. But now let's talk about the good. Bound coaching Mags up. That was pretty fucking cool. I wasn't expecting that at all. They just panned the camera over to the team and Bound's just standing back there with the headset on. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this. So that was fun. Again, with the context of everything, especially in the off-season year, Halo having an event, regardless of the size, in the EU is a good thing. I think that is awesome because really the only other representation they had was the fucking London major. And then we had like oh my God, was it the Gfinity event or whatever it was back in Halo 5? So realistically, in Infinite's case, it was the fucking London major. So having another EU event, I think, is incredible. And again, regardless of the size, because yes, I could sit here and bitch and moan about, oh, they didn't sell out the team passes and everything, which I think sucks. But at least there was an event. And I think that's pretty good. European Halo League stepping up and putting on the best show that they could. Again, I got to give grace here. And I think the fact that they stepped up to the plate, they did what they could with what they had. They fought through every technical difficulty that was thrown their way. They did the best that they could do. I got to commend them for that. I got to give them props for that because if they weren't there, if they were not there putting on the broadcast in the first place, we wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have had a broadcast for the Halo event in Birmingham. So again, it's easy to sit here and bitch and moan about things and be like, oh, I wish it was this, I wish it was that. And yes, the whole tag situation where it was hard to pay attention to which player was which, yeah, it sucks. I get it. But at the same time, at least we had something. And I know that's not going to be enough for a lot of people, and that's fine. But at least we had something. The Game 5s and the insane Slayers throughout the entire event. Because again, guys, if you're not paying attention, the Slayers are so fucking good. They're so fucking good. That Kraken Luminon Game 5 is going to live in my head for a while. It was chef's kiss. And even on Xbox, we still got to watch some damn good Halo during the weekend. Overall, with all the caveats in mind, it was still amazing to see competitive Halo being played in 2026 on LAN with some of the best players in the world. Yes, I wish the supposed FaZe roster was able to compete. Yes, I wish a lot of these other pros that are not competing this year were competing. But at the end of the day, we're still getting Halo Infinite esports on LAN in 2026. And I'm just happy to watch it. Links to all of the brackets, including the open bracket, the last chance qualifier, pool play, champ bracket, the Halo 3 2v2, the Halo 5 2v2, the Halo Infinite 2v2, and the Halo Infinite FFA are all in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. Exclamation point show notes in the chat, along with all the links to the VODs, both A stream and B stream from European Halo League. Go check those out as well. Shopify are the best until proven otherwise on. Oh yeah, Viltramite, come on. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Anybody that was saying otherwise don't know what they're talking about. Just going to throw that out there. They can have their opinion, but they're fucking wrong. They're just fucking wrong. I'm going to move on with the show, but for folks in the chat, for folks that are listening to the audio version, for those that are checking out the YouTube VOD, I want to know your thoughts on the event as well. So please let me know whether you're in chat. Let me know your thoughts on the event as a whole. On YouTube, leave a comment if you so choose. And yeah. What's crazy is we go right back to qualifiers this weekend. Deadline, you are not wrong. You are not fucking wrong. It should be exciting. Should be exciting. It's time for some regular news. Tashi's Tantalizing Tidbits, Halo Fest edition. This is from Coffee Noggin. He asks, you wouldn't happen to have an ETA for more detailed guidelines for the short film competition later this year in Halo Fest, would you? And Tashi replied with, April. So there you go. Sir Assassin, thank you so much and welcome back. Thank you very much for the kind words. Anniversary Angle, March of the Dream Teams by Halo Studios, and Cannon Fodder, Casting Chronicles by Halo Studios are two articles that are over on Waypoint right now. And I got to give a massive shout out to Lottie, who is one of the voices, who's going to be a narrator for one of the stories that's going to be in the Waypoint Chronicles that's going to be releasing soon. I think that's fucking awesome. Congratulations to her. That's amazing. And if you want to see all of the narrators that are going to be included in that kind of omnibus, I guess you could say, go ahead and check out the article in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. ! Show notes in the chat, or it's included in the description of the audio version and the VOD. So go check it out. Go check it out. That's it for the regular news. Go to the games, watch! CDL Major 2 results. Major 2 results. Okay. I made the joke last week that I wouldn't be surprised if the Rocker get double first rounded. Okay? I made the joke that I wouldn't be surprised if the Rocker got double first rounded. We got very fucking close. Instead, we got double second rounded. Because we beat the fucking Falcons 3-0, whoop-de-doo, and then we lost to Optic 3-0, and then we lost to the Thieves 3-1. But hey, we got top 6. Woo! Fucking Jesus Christ. But regardless, kind of the surprising thing here, though, is Optic had a great tournament. They 3-0'd Toronto. They 3-0'd us. They 3-1 FaZe in the winners final. And eventually they lose to FaZe in the grand final 4-1. And I know people like to complain about the format and everything, and maybe they should look at the format and everything, but like regardless of people being an Optic fan or not, FaZe came out, man. FaZe came out swinging. So congratulations to them. They are your Major 2 champions from Birmingham. Optic need to go back to the lab. Shout out the league for not letting them scrim their challenger team to stay warm. That's fucking hilarious if that's actually true. Max says the format is genuinely bad. I do hear that consistently. And obviously I agree to an extent as well, because coming from the Halo side of things, I'm so used to bracket resets, right? Where the team coming from winners has that best of 7 advantage. And frankly, I'm surprised that COD doesn't do something similar. Where the team coming from winners has that series advantage, or like any additional like pick ban advantage. I don't know, just something to change things up, because again, I have no skin in the game. Like, I don't fucking care if Optic wins, if FaZe wins. If we won, that'd be fucking ridiculous, because I know it's never going to happen. But like, I have no skin in the game, right? I just want the format to be as competitive as possible. So, yeah. If that means that the team coming from winners has a series advantage, then so be it. I think it works for Halo. I don't see why it could not work for COD. Right? So, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's it for COD on the Games Watch. Time to get to some shoutouts. Deadline, this is for you. Congratulations to Deadline and Michael on winning the PAX East PNY Quake 3 2v2. Congratulations to you. Happy belated birthday to Disrobed Angel, Miss Jade, and Meg. Fucking blame the Meg. Shout out to you as well. Doing amazing work over in Birmingham covering the Halo side of things. Happy belated birthday. Shout out to everyone who joined in the 8s. I know that Dialed was very upset that we didn't get people for 8s last night. So I apologize. I was not able to attend. But what are you going to do? But either way, shout out to everyone who has been joining in the 8s over the past week. It is greatly appreciated. I hope people are having fun. And then shout out to everyone who followed and subbed during the live show. We have Buki with the follow. Thank you. Amazionian with the fucking brand new sub. Thank you so much. And OG War, thank you for the raid. Greatly appreciated as well. Community creations, Halo memes every day. Reddit.com/r/Halo memes. Go check it out. Beth says, I wasted an energy drink on ranked Slayer. Shake my head. Oh, no. Oh, no. The community top 25 Halo Reach sniper clips of 2020 by Devious Grunt Alliance. Fucking shout out Devious Grunt, by the way. Just incredible. Unreleased Complexity and HCS merch by Ashes. An amazing shirt that we'll never get, unfortunately. But the design went pretty fucking hard. How Save Halo started as a meme. It's by Shopify Rebellion. They're doing a little bit of a Halo team podcast. So go check that video out if you haven't already. And then, of course, the community spotlight for March 25th, 2026 by Halo Studios. All the links are included in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to fucking end this thing. You can find this show, this thing that occurs every week on your favorite podcast service. Just give a good little search there for HCS Pro Talk. It's on iTunes. It's on Podbean. I don't know why anybody would actually use that to listen to the show. We just use it to host the show. It's on Spotify. It's on Stitcher. I don't know if people use Stitcher anymore. It's on Pocket Casts, which, while not an ad, is my favorite podcast app. It's on all our favorite podcast services. We have a link tree. It includes all the links to all the socials and all the things, including Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, right here, TikTok, and the merch, which is still available. Ghost, you're mine. The Notorious. Welcome. And you can check out the website, hcsprotalk.com, but it'll take you to haloevolve.co, your home for Halo. Check out all the Podcasts Evolve shows. Podcasts Evolve, Mission Debrief, Halo TV Plus, Book Club, Builds with Blocks, Halo Headlines, and Halo Gear Guide. Go check them out. Show them some love. Show all your favorite creators some love. It doesn't have to be Halo specific. You know? I'm going to throw this out there. It's something that I heard. And it obviously, like, I think it rings true. And I think more people should do it. If you have a favorite creator out there, or if you have a favorite game developer out there, right? I mean, I genuinely mean this. It's like no joke. If you have a favorite creator out there, if you have a favorite game developer out there, hell, if you have a favorite like musical artist or whatever, people or things that are getting you through the tough times, right? Like, find their email, send them an email, send them a DM. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Game developers get a lot of fucking shit. You know? Like, game developers get a lot of fucking shit. Some, I won't even say deservedly so. I don't think the devs deserve shit. I think it's the publishers and the execs and all that. Fuck them. But game developers go through a lot of shit. And you never know what people may be going through in their day-to-day life, right? And so if there's a creator out there that you're enjoying their content, if there's a musical artist that you enjoy their music, or there's a show that you like that you want to know about the showrunner, there's a game that you've been playing that you admire the devs for, whatever it is, fucking send them a DM, send them an email or something, and just say, hey, I appreciate everything you do. Maybe it'll brighten their day. You know, maybe it'll brighten their day. Because we all need our days a little bit brighter, especially nowadays. So, yeah, not to sound corny, but if you have the means to do so, just fucking reach out. Let them know you appreciate them. But yeah. John says, I literally did that with the guy who created the Uncharted 4 Steelbook yesterday at a con. Had him sign my copy and we chatted for a few minutes and he just gave me one of his prints and thanks for following him for God so many years. See, there you go. That's what it is. You just got to let them know you appreciate them. See, you have no idea what people are going through in their day-to-day lives. You know, life's tough. Not to say it hasn't always been like this. Like, life's always been tough. Sometimes it's more tough than other times. And right now it's one of those pretty tough times. So, yeah. All the stuff that we be consuming day in, day out, whether it be YouTube or a Twitch streamer or a musical artist or a show or a movie, whatever it is, or a game. Real people make those things. Real people are putting their hearts into those things. And we should do a better job of recognizing those individuals and, you know, just letting them know that we appreciate them. So, hell yeah. All right. I'm done with the sappy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of the show. That's going to do it for episode 435 of HCS Pro Talk. To those that are tuning in live, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the discussion. I appreciate it. Hope you're all having a great fucking night. To those listening to the audio version of the show or checking out the YouTube bot, thank you as well for taking the time out of your fucking schedule to listen to me fucking to go on and on and on. Shout out to you, Deadly. Shout out to you, Zionian. You guys are amazing. Audio listeners, YouTube watchers, you all are amazing as well. Never forget about you. Hashtag never forget. Guys, I'll be back next week to talk about whatever the fuck happens. Because that's what we're here to do. Have a great week. Play some Halo. Play some other games. Take some time for yourself. Right? Take some time for yourself. Decompress. Cozy up with a good book. Have a nice cocktail. Watch a good movie. Listen to some fucking jams. Spend time with your loved ones. Be good to one another. I'll be back next week. But until then, oh, fuck me, I'm going to get this wrong. Aguilon? I apologize if I mispronounced your name. That's my bad. Guys, stop with this fucking bitch. Oh my God, fuck. I'm leaving. Have a great night, everyone. Bye!